Let's segue into our next topic. I've been getting a lot of inboxes, TikToks, group message, group chat messages about why so many black people are supporting Trump, and it is unbelievable to me that we have so many people that is black.
DT back, baby.
Listen,
DT back.
I know you saying the tongue in cheek, Blaze, but like it's a lot of niggas that's serious about this.
DT is back.
DT is hilarious.
What I want to talk about, like I said, with black people supporting Trump, because it just like completely befuddles me. But a lot, like, I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, he funny and he exposing this and he exposing that," but nobody is talking about the policies. Like, and to me,
there is no policy, sir.
Right, I know, and that's the whole point. With me and Kendall like to go to is like, it ain't no policy. So like, why the fuck is y'all sitting up here acting like like y'all rocking with
because
this
they thinking about stimulus checks.
That gotta be it, fam.
I hope niggas ain't voting based on
That's all it is. Like,
I hope niggas ain't voting for stimmy.
They feel like it's gonna be some type of money involved, or my tax bracket and like all of that's foolishness. Like I get whatever y'all trying to say, but
y'all don't make enough to get them tax breaks, so don't say that neither.
That part. But I don't know. Like you said, it is definitely mind-boggling. I ain't gonna judge y'all.
Kendall was like, shit.
Oh no, man. I need some
Visine. If you have dry eyes. But anyway, Kendall, help me out here, man. Let's run down all the negative policies that Trump has done within his first 4 years, right? And even the shit that he's doing now, or even the people that he's appointed that has affected civil rights laws right now. Help me run this down, bro, because you more well spoken.
Well, I don't have nothing in front of me like to just go down the line of different stuff, but it's just like there have been no policies that have elevated African Americans. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't. But again, that's not the concern. Like look what he's doing. Look what's happened with the Roe v. Wade situation. Like it's more so. Everything isn't about the president. It's about who they appoint, what their administration does. It's like what comes with it. Like it's kind of like when I was talking about the whole Bernie Sanders situation. I was not necessarily a rah nigga for Bernie Sanders. It was more so about what he can bring to the table if he wins, and the people that are behind him and what their support level is going to be once they're in with him. That's what it's about. And that's what it's about with administration. Same thing with George Bush, right? The power came from who? Dick Cheney. It wasn't so much about George Bush. And generally, vice presidents don't necessarily have that type of activity. Generally, vice presidents are in the background. But it's about your administration and what they bring to the table. And that's the problem. It was the type of judges he appointed, the type of administration he had, the different type of people that he aligned himself with, the organizations, the stuff with Alex Jones, the stuff that happened in Charlottesville with the bad people on both sides. Like his problem is he's divisive. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's a huge problem.
Right. And that's what brings the issue with what they start talking about. You start bringing other people from the cracks that would never win. And now they're becoming a problem. Just like that black man that just won North Carolina.
Hey, dude is crazy.
He's out of his damn mind. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, dude is nuts.
But again, is he really just crazy, or is it he knows what to say to get these white people riled up down there so that they'll vote for him? You know what I'm saying? Women shouldn't be voting and all that other type of, you know what I'm saying? Like making those crazy claims, and black people shouldn't necessarily be talking about reparations. We should be giving reparations to basically white people. That's basically what he says. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is a black man saying those things. So again, these are all hot button topics that certain white people in America like to hear. You know what I'm saying? So some want to go back to certain time frames. I'm not necessarily saying slavery, but they do like subservient shit. You know what I'm saying? So this is where that's coming from. So yeah, that's Donald Trump's problem. It's not so much everything is about him. It's about the team that he brings behind him and the people that he appoints. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the stuff that happened with the Supreme Court judges that he appointed, Now we getting Roe v. Wade out of there, and now we telling women what they need to be doing with their bodies. What do you think is going to be happening next in certain other realms? You know what I'm saying? And what are they going to be trying to pass in another 4 years? That's the problem. It's not so much always just about Trump. It's about his team and the people that's under him.
Right. We just talked last week about how the Fearless Fund, it's a venture capitalist fund that was formed in Atlanta that was supposed to be donating money to black women owned business. How a Trump appointee is trying to he got it tied up in legislation right now saying it was unconstitutional, and what white people have been doing is they've been the civil rights movement, the Civil Rights Act of 1866 in us to fucking death. That's what they use to shoot down anything that is directly going to benefit black people. They go right to the Civil Rights Act of 1866, saying if it ain't for all America, then it's unconstitutional. And that's how they've been able to shoot down the majority of stuff, the Roe v. Wade's and
they killing that shit too.
Yeah, they killing it. We gonna have to.
One thing about the Republicans.
My bad.
No, you got it. We live. That's production shit. Go ahead.
they use the actual laws the way they written to be used, but they use them the opposite of what they was intended for.
Mm-hmm.
and they get away with that shit though.
Yeah. And the craziest thing about the Civil Rights Act of 1866 is Andrew Jackson. Is it Johnson or Jackson? It's Johnson. Andrew Johnson. Andrew Johnson, the president that was appointed after Lincoln's assassination, he vetoed the Civil Rights Act of 1866 twice. And so, like, this man, like, this was a Confederate sympathizer that wanted to shoot down this bill, and now this is being used against black people in 2024. This is the craziest shit. I feel like it's an episode of the Twilight Zone every time I start watching politics, fam. Like, what the hell is going on here? Like, it's really wild out here,
man. That shit is not real. That shit is pomp and circumstance, man.
That's the thing. Like, it's just Trump is a direct businessman. He's not like a politician that has worked for a number of years and like in the public, volunteering, things like that, where you work with people. Like, that's not his thing. So that's why, he was getting caught up with having foreign governments giving him money to his companies. You know what I'm saying? And like, he doesn't, the COVID, he was reluctant to react to the COVID response initially when people was dying and all that type of shit. Like, he was acting like it was fake and doing all this other, like,
drink some bleach.
You can't have that because what happened is you started having Americans saying that same stupid shit.
Yep.
Like, that shit ain't real, and like people were dying. They're like, well,
but
she's old. Like,
do that go to how crazy he is or how stupid people are?
No doubt. But that's because, again, most people don't necessarily pay attention to what's going on in the country. You know what I'm saying? The average person is just not, they're not gonna pull up any news or any. So again, they're looking at their leader to tell them. And I'm not saying it's smart to do that, but I'm just saying some people are like that. So
but
I'm just saying, look
at
Joe Biden.
No, I agree.
I agree with you though that Donald Trump said that if he was to ever run for president, that he would be Republican because how stupid the people are.
Correct. But again, no doubt.
And they're doing exactly what he said.
Well, that shit was handled terribly. Like that whole COVID thing. But it was unprecedented. Like I don't know who would have been there that would have handled that shit appropriately. But other than the nationwide lockdown, which they wasn't gonna do.
Right, but you're not gonna say it was fake. You're not gonna like. I'm not saying that I can't pull up a quote and show that he literally said it's fake. I'm just saying he was reluctant to react.
I think he did.
I'm sure. Like I said, I don't remember. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to directly pull it out of somewhere, but I know that he was reluctant as hell. I do remember that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, as a president, you can't do those types of things because you have people's lives at stake. You have to be in a different type of mode. And again, I'm not saying that these presidents are the greatest people because y'all know I've criticized them for years, but I'm just talking about in terms of when you have like a pandemic and things like that, you have to react a certain way and make sure that people don't start acting a fool based on what's going on in at that current time frame. And that's he was doing the opposite. And you can't have that type of person because he's concerned with himself and his family. That's why Jared Kushner was over there in Saudi Arabia getting all that money. They like to talk about Hunter Biden and all that other shit, but a lot of that stuff was just Hunter acting a damn fool and doing his thing and using his leverage, using his dad's leverage. Huh?
Hunter, a wild boy.
Right. He was using his dad's leverage to go do things for him. He wasn't involving his dad, but Trump was sending his kids out to go get the money from these foreign areas. You know what I'm saying? Like
he was sending Ivanka.
Exactly. And Jared Kushner, her husband. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they like this with Saudi Arabia. So that's what I'm saying. Like they were getting lots of money, you know what I'm saying, over that type of stuff. So and again, I'm not saying all presidents don't do it. They all do that similar types of things, but I'm just saying like he's totally for his family versus doing anything for the people, especially us. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like if it don't benefit his bottom line or his brand, he don't want to be involved with it. That's why I believe he was even trying to be reluctant about COVID because he didn't want that shit on his name.
Yeah. So if y'all just not tuning in, the reason what we're discussing is I've had a lot of people come to me talking about why they supporting Trump and why they want to vote for Trump, and it has nothing to do with policies. Like so, we having a discussion on the show about why this is such a bad thing, because I know it's a tongue in cheek for a lot of people, but this in reality of it, we have to be more informed about these things and what policies and appointees people are putting in place. So that's what we're discussing right now. And like I said, we've talked about the people that Trump has appointed that has completely rolled back Civil Rights Act and all type of stuff. But on that note, we do have a caller. So Kyrie, are you there?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Kyrie, what's up?
What's going on, Blaze, Leslie, Kendall? How y'all doing?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Hey, so I wanted to talk on what Blade said. Like, I feel like politics is very disingenuous. Did anybody see the State of the Union speech from Biden last week?
Yeah. Or he was yelling the whole time?
Yeah, man. Like, all right, so it was one thing. I know me and Kendall talked about it. Me and Jerome briefly discussed it, right? Where Biden basically said that, all types of people came to America in search for opportunity, including people who came in chains. I was really irritated about that, but that wasn't the thing that irritated me the most. It's just how disingenuous it was. For like the last 4 years, I feel like Biden hasn't really taken any of the things that he mentioned that night serious. I think when it's election time, it just becomes a horse and pony show, because inflation has been a hot topic. He even mentioned shrinkflation. Like, so he's throwing out these hot terms that are going to get people's attention, trying to win the vote. But it's like, it's not going to be any action behind that. And how dare you mention people coming in chains in search of opportunity when we still don't even have an anti-hate crime bill. Like, we don't even have the basics of the basics for our people, and y'all keep using these hot words, and it's just irritating at this point. That's kind of my thoughts on it. What did y'all think?
And I agree, Trent. I mean,
Biden is like the king of bad hot takes. Like, you know what I mean? He called us notable exceptions when he was addressing the Hispanic community a few years ago before he was elected. Like, he's just like he said unlike the black community, with notable exceptions, the Hispanic people have different thoughts and different ideas about different things. He called us fucking notable exceptions, and that went over everybody's head. I can't stand dude either. So like, so if anybody think it's because I bash Trump, like I'm on Biden's side. No, I can't. I don't mess with him. But one thing I will say, the difference between his administration and Trump's administration when he first came into office was we were in the middle of a pandemic. Trump was running around playing with it, to Kendall's point earlier. He wasn't addressing it the right way. People were dying. Right. He wasn't addressing it the right way or anything. And when Biden came into office, he had a solidified plan, and he released it in memorandum form and let us know what he was going to do to address the pandemic and how he was going to help lead America out of it. Even if you didn't fuck with the fake stabs and all that stuff or whatever, or the COVID vaccinations, he still did. I think he handled COVID as best as you can handle it as an incoming president. Yeah, that's my thought on that. I still don't fuck with the dude though. He's still the king of bad hot takes, especially when it comes to racial shit. I don't fuck with dude at all. Not to mention,
I just need him to forgive my student loans.
That's all.
Just cut the check, do whatever you need to do. Just give me some forgiveness, and we good to go.
What if Trump forgive him, Leslie?
I don't care who forgive him. Okay. Because I forgave them. I already forgave them. So I just need them to forgive them as well. Like, I don't know what to tell anybody. Like, I don't know what to tell anybody. It's not happening. It's not happening.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna front. I definitely take advantage of some loan forgiveness. So shout out to them for that. But again, I mean, it's just, I mean, I guess for me, like, obviously, I don't really look at it as a surprise because it's coming from a Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? Because Joe Biden has, said racist things throughout his
piece of shit.
Right. He said this old shit throughout his career. He's worked with Republicans all the time, all throughout his career. He's a Dixiecrat. That's really what he is. But y'all can look that up at a later time if y'all want. But the point is, like, they all use hot button topics. All of them at their State of the Union addresses use terms to get people to pay attention again, or the people that the average person that just does not pay attention to politics. They just looking for the State of the Unions. They're looking for these opportunities for when these presidents speak. That's the only time that they get engaged. And that's when they use those hot button topics to get Biden is not going to do half that shit. Half the stuff he's saying. Like you said, there still isn't any type of anti-crime hate bill for African Americans. That's never going to happen. I'm not saying never. Let me fire. Let me come back.
No, I'm with you. You know how I feel about before you. One second, Ken, I'm gonna cut you. I'm sorry, bro. I'm trying to cut your wisdom, but you know how I feel about that. I said until we lobby for that, it's not gonna happen, and it seems like it's impossible to get us to get together to come together for something like that to happen, because every other race got a coalition out here that's stopping all.
Right, but didn't nobody lobby for no anti Asian crime hate bill? They just gave it to them. I mean, again,
couple Asians got beat up and they got a bill.
Right. There's no lobby. I mean, don't get me wrong. You need to lobby in order to get things done. Just go watch Killers of the Flower Moon. But I'm just saying, in terms of, they're never going to give African Americans just anything, because again, they don't feel like you should have anything any damn way, and they feel like as if, why would you even ask to get anything? You have a job. You have you live, you have a home, you have, like, that's how they'll talk to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the average American. If you sit and have a conversation with them, you know what I'm saying? Most people just won't. You know what I'm saying? So again, this is the thought process. This is the same thought process behind Donald Trump. He was discriminating against niggas in apartments. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has so many failed businesses, and people still think he's a businessman. That's what makes him a businessman. Trump University was trash. That didn't do anything.
Casinos was trash.
Casinos was trash.
Worst performing casinos in Atlantic City.
He's always been about him and himself. And again, I'm not here to just cast it on him. I'm just saying it's all the same type of mind frame towards African Americans. So to Jerome's point, you have to bring up attention and awareness. That's the whole reason of a protest or any of those types of things, going to your congressman, going to your council meetings and all that kind of stuff to raise a fuss, because that's really the only way that you're going to get things done. Otherwise, they just going to throw those hot button topics and say, this is what we're doing, even though they're not going to get all that shit done.
I agree with Kyrie, man. I agree with Kyrie, dog. They pander to black and women voters. Because we shift the needle, man. That's all it is, dude. They get up there and say what they're gonna say to get the votes, and then they move on with what they're doing.
No doubt. But I just said that. But I'm just talking about, that's the only way that you'll actually get any type of movement, is if, to your point, to Jerome's point, you have to lobby and you have to be in those areas. Otherwise, you're only gonna have a few people that's gonna speak to that, and then they're gonna throw money in their face. That's what happens to politicians. And that's all of them. That was the whole point of the progressive movement. That was the reason why, again, like a Bernie Sanders, it's not about him. It's about the movement that you bring behind it, because you need a different type of party. Otherwise, it's already corrupt. They're getting money by corporations. So that's what lobbying is. Those corporations go to DC and they give them money to listen to whatever it is that they want.
That's exactly,
and once they start getting millions of dollars, they shut their mouth.
Yeah, that's exactly what Ava Longoria did under Obama, and that's why Hispanics and Latino and the LGBT community was able to make so many strides. And y'all wonder why, when they say minority topics and they talking directly to the Hispanic community, and why the LGBTQ community was able to make so many strides, because they lobbied a lot for Obama, and that's why so many laws were changed under him to benefit them. But Kyrie, you were trying to chime in. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, and to Kendall's point, I think where black people get cut off at the knees a lot is one, the average American doesn't understand the residual effects of slavery and Jim Crow and all those other things, right? So to the point of they feel like they don't owe us anything. It's not true. I just saw a video last night where in 1958 the government condemned this property, like 8 acres of land from this black family, and only gave them $8,000. The father built a 2-story home on this property. And again, that family was robbed of generational wealth from that generation and on to generations to come. They never got to sell that property. They never got to build a neighborhood on that property and invest on that property, right? So we don't have the money to lobby. And that's where we got to, like, the education process comes in, where we have to understand how group economics works and understand how if we pull our money, we can get in front of these people and start lobbying for things as well. And it's not going to happen in our lifetime. Really, it just comes from a point of inspiration. Like us, we got to inspire the young ones. So when those generations come up, they're the ones who can implement those systematic changes that need to happen. So America could be a little bit more fair for black people. But yeah, once we can get the right people on TV and, be able to educate the average American on the atrocities that happen to black people, I think that it'll be a lot more good. Because what we're facing, we're not facing racism, we're facing ignorance. Like, a lot of racist people, they're ignorant. They don't take the time to research, they don't take the time to learn. They just listen to the lies of their grandfathers and their fathers, and they take that for the truth. But these young ones that's coming up, they're not going for that no more. So that's why platforms like Unlabeled, EYL, they're great, because y'all are inspiring people.
Man, I appreciate that, bro, and I agree with everything you said. That's 100% facts. Because that's pretty much my goal. I definitely want to become a lobbyist. So we start moving the needle, and that's where that sentiment came from. Because I don't. In the 1960s civil rights movement, a lot of the fight was to get rid of capitalism and move us more into socialism, right? So I don't really rock with capitalism like that. And I know America's never moving towards socialism, but I damn near think that every black person should get better at capitalism in order for us to make some strides, so we can pool our money together and our resources together, so we can actually try to make progress in America better for us. You know what I mean? To your point. You know what I mean? But it's gonna take effort, and it's gonna take people to get up off their ass. Like it really is.
So as far as the lobbying, so like Hispanic and LGBTQ, they got a lot of stuff done, but it all came down to the money. So where's the money for our stuff for black people when it comes to the lobbying? Who gonna get behind us and push that agenda forward?
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, Blaze, me and Brandon was just talking about that. That's a very serious question, because the one thing that other groups have that we don't have at this moment is all these other groups are on code. Like, they'll send letters to each other and they'll actually work together to get these things done. Not saying that black people don't. It's just the air quote leaders that we have, and they're not really leaders. Like Kendall said, they're bought and paid for. So we just have to get on code. Like, once we can get on code and we can get around the right people, and again, that's where group economics is gonna, like, when we can pull our money together and build something, that's when we'll be able to lobby, and we can go and be like, hey, we need this, because that's the only way that they're gonna listen. Unless America makes right, and this is never gonna happen unless America makes lobbying illegal, which it damn near should be, but we know that's not gonna happen.
Nah.
That's how politicians get paid. They never gonna do that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why they all millionaires.
Right. Yeah, man. So yeah, Kyrie, I appreciate you calling in, bro. Stick around, because I know you want to come back on later. If y'all not familiar, this is my good brother Kyrie from No Time to Explain. He has his own YouTube channel as well. But we're gonna get him come back on, because our last topic is gonna be sports, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna have a lot to say about that. So stick around, bro.
All right, for sure, bro.
All right, man. Thank you for calling.